Hi everyone, Gareth at QCT here. I'm doing a video today about Kdenlive. Now this video is sort of inspired by Tom at Lawrence Systems, who are lawrencesystems.com. Now Tom does lots of YouTube videos. I've watched some of his stuff before Christmas and kind of inspired me to do a few of the videos that I'm doing as well. Tom, in the last couple of days, has done a video on the latest version of Kdenlive and how he does some editing in Kdenlive. One of the things he commented was that he's not tried it in Windows for ages. Used to be a bit buggy, used to crash quite a lot, but he's not tried it for a while. And while I was sat watching the video, I was thinking, oh, well, that's a coincidence. I'm working from home at the moment. Normally, I would edit videos using Kdenlive in Linux, but because I'm at home and my home PC is Windows 10, I'm actually going to be installing Kdenlive in the next couple of days to do some video editing on Windows. Then I thought, why don't I do a quick video on installing Kdenlive and doing a quick edit of a video in Windows, sort of almost a complement to the one that Tom's already done, but for Linux. So yeah, we'll crack on with that. I'm going to install Kdenlive and then do a fairly quick edit. I'm not 100% sure what the edit's going to be yet, because obviously I haven't actually done it yet. But the video is a video that I'm making for how to create an image using Windows 10 and Clonezilla. It's quite a long video, so there's going to be quite a lot of fast forwarding, quite a lot of timing compression stuff in there. There'll be a couple of splits. There'll be some bits I've got to cut out. I've got to sort the audio out because the audio source that I'm using generally is just one channel, so tend to need to make that into two channels. Yeah, a bit of cutting, bit of fading from one to another, that sort of thing. So yeah, let's crack on. So this is one of my screens. So just to show you, I'm recording this using OBS, but this is the main thing that we want to be able to see. So Kdenlive website, kdenlive.org, and then /en/download is the download page. But it's fairly easy to get to. Click on that big button there, and then I'm going to go for the installed 2004 version for Windows. I say that I have already downloaded it, so I'm not going to waste anyone's bandwidth by downloading that again. So I'm going to head to my download section here, Kdenlive, to get it installed. So of course that popped up on the other window, and I'm fairly sure this is just going to be a case of next. I'm sure at some point it's going to pop up and ask me to put the admin details in. I'm a little bit nervous about doing this live now. Okay. So interestingly there, it hasn't asked me for any admin rights. The user that I'm currently running as is not an administrator. So that's interesting. Okay, so a full disclosure, I have cut a few bits of video out here. I've made a few mistakes. So the very first time I ran Kdenlive, which this is not anymore, the very first time that splash screen did take quite a while longer to clear. Obviously now that I've been in and out a few times, it's sped up a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this down from full screen, just to show you that there's a couple of different ways to get media into the project bin there. So dragging and dropping is one way. So I'm going to head across here. I'm going to Control A to select all of these videos, but then actually I don't want that one because I know that's a bad bit of video. So drag in, drop in, video ends up in there. Perfect. You notice at the bottom here it's now saying, do I want to switch the clip profile to 1080p 30 frames a second? So that's because this video that I've added, these videos, are 1080 at 30 frames per second. The current project is 1080 at 25. So I'm going to switch it up because I might as well. And then maximise this. You can also hit the add clip button there. I'm going to add a JPEG of my channel art. Just because I'm going to use that as a buffer at the start and at the end of the video. So, just wait a few seconds for it to do its thing. Okay, so the JPEG as it comes in is currently at 5 seconds in length. That's about perfect. So I'm going to just drop that into there. The first bit of video, so you can see at the moment this is saying that this is 15 minutes, 28 seconds and 24 frames long. It's not going to be by the time we're finished with it, but we'll just drop that in for now. It doesn't really matter exactly where it goes for now. So first thing we want to do is trim the start of the video. So if you do Control and mouse in, that's going to zoom in. If you do the mouse wheel without control, then it moves you backwards and forwards in the video. So up, scrolling up takes you towards the start of the video, and scrolling down takes you towards the end. You can see from the audio waveform here, which incidentally looks lots nicer. So I don't know whether this is a Kdenlive 2004 thing or whether this is a Kdenlive on Windows thing, but it just seems though it looks a lot nicer. Anyway, there's a few seconds here where I'm not saying anything, I'm not doing anything, so we want to cut that out probably. So I'm going to just select here, and you can see in the video preview me pulling some really weird faces. So probably if we go about there, that seems good. We're going to press X on the keyboard, which is to insert a cut. And I'm going to press S, select this bit of video, and delete to get rid of it. And I'm going to drag this down and back to the start. Now I want kind of a couple of seconds of overlap here. You can see when you start dragging, just above where my cursor is, just there, you can see that it gives you the position. So I want a couple of seconds. The JPEG is going to be displayed for 5 seconds. So we'll drag that up to 3. So the start of this is 3, the end of that is 5. What we're then going to do is I'm just going to hover the mouse around about here, and you can just about see there's a purple circle appears there. If you click that, it's going to add a transition. The default transition is wipe, and it's going to add it from the point you've clicked to the edge of this video here, the video that's below it. So if we now go back to the start, that's not back to the start. I'm going above and beyond what I know here. That was silly. Back to the start, press play.
Hi everyone, Gareth at QC Tech here.
Perfect. So we're now going to control and scroll out, or you could use this really handy button here, which zooms to the edges of the project. If you were an AutoCAD person, it would be called Zoom Extents, I think, but it's Zoom to Project is what it's called in Kdenlive. Handy little button. But you'll then see that we go down here, and then all of a sudden there's a real drop off in the audio again. Now I happen to know that there's a point here where I start the Windows installer going, and I then get distracted by.
This might be one of the points where we have to speed things up.
I get distracted by what's going on. So I actually say.
There we go to the console of the machine that has its boots. This might be one of the points where we have to speed things up.
Okay, so acknowledge that we're probably going to want to speed this up. Now, what I'm actually going to do here is I happen to know that just after saying we're going to have to speed this up, I do get up and I do go and do something else, and I get sidetracked and I come back about 10 minutes later. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to X again, and I'm going to put a cut in the film. I'm going to cut in the video clip there, S to select, highlight, and press delete. I'm then going to drop this clip in. This is the next clip. I'm going to drop this in to the track above because I'm going to want a little bit of fade here between the two. So I'll just get that centered roughly and control zoom in. Well, here's the thing. I'm trying to prove that this is not quite as buggy as it used to be on Windows. I'm not entirely sure whether I'm doing a good job of that, honestly, because that was a little bit peculiar then. Right, so let's just drag this so it's not overlaid. Check what we've got here. And what we have here is me moving away from the computer. Again, we don't really want that. Let's zoom out a bit. Again, these waveforms are really, really useful to work out what's going on. So even if you're recording multiple audio sources and you're thinking you're not going to be able to, or you're not going to use the video, the audio from the video feed that you're doing, it's still worth recording the video because it's really helpful to know where you're at. So I'm going to go to there, just see what's happening.
Okay, so
yeah, so that was about perfect where I just had it. So again, X, cut that video there, S to select, delete. And we're going to do a similar sort of fadey type thing again. Again, little trick here is that it will sort of jump to match up, so one clip lines up exactly with the next. That's handy, obviously, if you want just a hard transition from one to the other. So when I say hard transition, at the moment that's just going to go straight from.
okay, so Windows setup has booted. So let's just have a quick look now what we've got going on over here. So we're in the UK here, so we're going to set the English United Kingdom up.
No. Tried to pause that.
Next, this is all pretty straightforward, really.
Okay, so the hard cut looks like this.
There we go to the console of the machine as it's booted. This might be one of the points where we have to speed things up. Okay, so
okay, that's not what I want. So just that in, zoom in a little bit. Now, again, as I've just noted, because this will snap to the edge here, that's handy. But what you can then do is, when you start to move things, it will give you your relative position. So you can see the absolute position is 3 minutes 44 seconds 26 frames. The relative position to where it was is -9 frames. So about a second of fade is probably what we want to be going for here. So 30 frames, 30 frames, which is 1 second. Close enough. And then again, down in the corner here, that purple circle appears. Click that. We have a wipe transition.
This might be one of the points where we have to speed things up. Okay, so
much nicer. So the other thing that I just wanted to show you, which I think is probably needs to happen around about here, but we'll just double check.
That's what we're
is we've got a section here where you can see from the video there, what we're doing is we're waiting for Windows to copy files across. Not particularly simulating viewing, so we're going to speed this bit up. I then start waffling about something, and then there's another bit to speed up. So we're going to go with X, and we're going to go X, S on the keyboard to select, right click, I'm going to change speed. Now we sort of don't want to go too quick. You sort of want to be able to see the counter going up a little bit, I think. So let's try 1,000 and see how that looks. You can play around with this a little bit, so that's fine.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, so I think that was okay. So we'll drag this in and just view the whole thing now.
Oh, no. That's what we're doing. Just thought it might be interesting to have a quick look at this.
Okay, so there I am waffling about the stats in XCPNG. One other thing that we just need to do, we don't want this background noise. So what we're going to do at this point, actually, this is a good point. I'm going to go up to the top here and type mute. So there are lots and lots of effects that you can apply to different things. One of which is the audio correction mute. So I'm going to drag mute. I'm going to drop it on there. You can see it now says mute there. What you can also do is if you now select that clip, you can see at the top here it says it has mute applied. So the effects and composition stack will tell you what effects you have applied. So most of these have got, well, all of these have got nothing on apart from that one now that has mute. Okay, what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to go, I'm going to save as. I'm going to call this Win 10 1909 image build. And I'm going to hit render. We're going to select MP4, the dominating format, which it is in fairness. I'm going to pick where we actually want the output because as default it's just going to just drop it into videos. I'd actually like it dropped into the video with the rest of the raw video. Oh, what's the file name as well? Win 10 1909. Done. And save. And then we've got render to file, which is the option that we want. So we'll hit that. Okay, so I left that render running. I went away from my machine. I got sidetracked. Then the kids got on the computer. So it's now tomorrow morning. The render's finished. It took 23 minutes. We'll just switch across to that. Switch across to there. I don't know whether you can actually make that out in the video feed or not, but I did go through and do a load more editing. So you can see here I've actually edited this down. We're at about 27 minutes, 26 and a half. So 27 minutes took about 23 minutes to render, so it's roughly a minute. And that's running on, so this is the machine that we're running on. It's an AMD FX 8370, which is an 8-core processor, in theory running at 4 gig, and it's got 16 gig of RAM in it. I don't know where that sits in the processor rankings nowadays. It was a good processor when I bought it, but that was some time ago, and this is my home machine. Quick little insert here. This is now a video of me on a video of me editing a video of me, I think. In my Kdenlive on Windows video that I did, which I did using one of the Windows 10 videos that I was in the process of making, I completely forgot to make mention of title clips. Now, I use title clips mainly when I've made a mistake in the video and I realise after the fact, rather than re-recording a whole section, just to correct the record, or to put a URL bar in or something like that. But it's nice and quick and easy to do. I realised that I hadn't done it, so I'm just recording another little bit here. So this video is actually the Kdenlive on Windows video that I recorded that you are now watching. So don't think about it too hard. It's like Doctor Who, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. So anyway, there's a bit just here where I say that I'm going to have to edit the audio.
Using generally it's just one channel. I've got to cut out. I'm going to sort the audio out because the audio source that I'm using generally is just one channel.
That's a lie, because I'm using my Logitech webcam at home, which does dual channel recording. So that's what I just want to do, because I completely omitted doing that. I'm going to add a title clip. And again, what I generally do is I'll just do a box. That colour is picked to be the same as my company colour, that's fine. Bit of text in here. Is a lie. I don't end up having to do it. Okay, so this is a lie, I don't end up having to do it. We'll centre the text there, and then we will centre the text box on the screen, and we'll justify it down to the bottom. Similarly with this one here, justify the centre of the screen and down to the bottom, and then I'll just move this up a little bit. There may well be a way to centre that inside that, but I don't know how. If you do know how, please feel free to comment. Just a point of note, you can set the duration of this at the top here. Default 5 seconds. I'm going to leave it at 5 seconds, although I know that it needs to be longer than 5 seconds. But it doesn't need to be, but I want it to be. So I'm going to drop that in. Again, I don't think that's quite the right place. I'm going to drag the duration up to about 10 seconds. It doesn't need to be exact. Let's just check this out.
As the audio source that I'm using splits the bits I've got to cut out. I've got to sort.
So I've got to sort is me about to say I've got to sort out. So let's just put that in there. See how that looks.
There. There'll be a couple of splits, there'll be some bits I've got to cut out. I've got to sort the audio out because the audio source that I'm using generally is just one channel. So, excuse me, tend to need to make that into 2 channels.
Perfect. And you can see here that I'm clearly wrong, because actually it's showing both channels in use. The issue is that if you're using just a standard microphone, I use a radio mic for some of the recording that I do. It's only single channel. But then if you're trying to listen to that on a stereo setup, or you're trying to listen on headphones, it sounds weird because you just get either left or right. So there's an effect which is called copy channels. So you can drag the copy channels effect, and then you can say copy from 1 to 0 seems to be the default. It depends on your kit exactly how you've got it set up as to whether you want to copy 1 to 0 or 0 to 1. Quick process of elimination will sort that out for you. So yeah, that is how you do it, but I didn't have to do it. So I just thought, well, this is a good opportunity for me to throw a title in there and to just add that bit in as well. And you will notice as well, the title shows up as being on top because we've got the video this way around. So the view in Kdenlive is from the top down. So if this was the other way around, I've only got the 2 channels in here, but if this was below this, they were the other way around, you wouldn't see the title because it would be behind the video. Because it's up there, it's on top, you do see it, and that's perfect. Right, back to it. Quick little insert number 2. Towards the end of the video that you've just been watching, you will have noticed I popped a screen up with my system information on. Part of the information on that screen was the Windows activation stuff. I'm not really sure whether that's sensitive or not, but I figured I'd obscure it from the video just in case it is. And then I thought actually I could just very quickly show you how to obscure information as well, because it's not necessarily as straightforward as you might think. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to just obscure a bit of the end of the video. So I'm going to hit, make sure I've actually clicked in the right sort of place. I'm going to hit X. I'm going to chop the end of the video there. And I'm going to do what lots of people would do when they want to blur a section of screen, which is to search for blur. Search for blur. I'm going to drop that in. S to select. I want lots of blur. We're then going to see what that looks like. So you see in the video here, bit in as well. And you will notice as well, the title shows up as being on top because we've got the video this way. And can you see what's happened there? It blurs the entire screen. Not what we want. So the thing that we're actually looking for is obscure. So if we drop obscure on, then you get an XY here and a width and a height. You can also see in the video preview there, you also get a box. So you can either drag the box, and let's pixelate me. Yeah, so you can either you can drag the box in, or you can set it using the XY and the height options there. So that will now, and to just add that bit in as well. And you will notice as well, the title shows up as being on top because we've got the video this way around. There we go. So the view in Kdenlive is. Now I was looking, I thought there was an option to say how much obscure you wanted as well, but now it's not that. Yeah, maybe there isn't an option for that. I thought there was, but I can't see it there. So anyway, this video is starting to run long now, so I'm going to say thank you very much for watching this video. It's short of 30 minutes hopefully, but thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.